Steve Kerr said Saturday, he said, quote, my team's fried. My team is burnt out. And it's like, wait a minute, you guys have been together for like less than 2 years and you're burnt out. LeBron's been doing this for like 14 years, centerpiece of the league, under the microscope. That's why I don't overreact in January. I think some of it's boredom, and some of it's LeBron's a little fried. So anyway, my point is, though, I'm watching Blake Griffin go east and tear it up. I mean, he's tearing it up, right? He is killing it.
I like Blake.
I do too. But
did you like Blake?
No.
Clippers.
I like him a lot more in the East. And I'm thinking about this. I have this written down. LeBron's out of Cleveland. So Tom Brady loses a Super Bowl, greatest of all time, and people are crushing him. The big thing about Michael Jordan, 6 for 6. Nobody ever mentions that Michael was 0 for 6 against Larry Bird. He couldn't get out of the East when Larry was in his prime. If LeBron goes west, Chris, we're not going to talk about him not getting to the finals. LeBron's thing is, listen, I'm going to go west. If I get to the finals, I'm winning it because I know who I'm going up against. Am I nuts to think that LeBron maybe hasn't made up his mind? But you listen to Brady getting crushed today, and you start looking around, and LeBron's like, listen, man, Blake Griffin kills it over here. I'm going to go west. And honestly, I look at that this morning, and I'm like, you know, Chris, you're seeing all these guys go east to west. Suddenly their numbers are all going.
Oladipo
is now
Blake.
An all-star in the East. Blake is tearing it up.
You gave me like 4 or 5 things.
Okay,
let's
start this. Let's start this. There's this idea that LeBron hasn't made his mind up. Do you believe, though, my theory, which is, God, we criticize people for getting to the Super Bowl and finals and losing, is part of this LeBron thing is hell. If I go west and I don't get in, you can't keep knocking me for finals losses.
I do think LeBron has no appetite for getting back to the finals and getting crushed. I really do. And I think that for all the problems that they're experiencing in Cleveland, I think that's the one thing that could keep them from getting back to the finals. Not that they'll quit, but they just won't be motivated. He won't be as motivated as he should be. And as a result, the players will feed off of that negatively, just like they're feeding off his negative energy right now.
Right.
And then they won't play up to their abilities, and they'll lose in the Eastern Conference playoffs. So I do think that part is right. I think most likely he's leaving Cleveland. My question is this: where are you going? Like, you should wait till 2019, in my opinion, because the landscape will be much clearer. Like the Lakers. Okay, if you wait till 2019, you'll know what those young kids are more than you do now. Paul George will have spent, it looks like he's staying in OKC.
Well, let's just...
Yeah, but I think it's to the point, and he may change his mind, but he would almost look like a phony if he goes to L.A. and it's not due to any implosion or just any, thing he has with Russ that's negative. Like, if they just continue to play pretty well, get to the second round, lose in 6, and it looks like things are going pretty well, and he leaves to go to the Lakers, with the comments he's made, it'll look a little bit phony. So let's say George will have stayed there 2 years, second round and out both times. Now he's ready to leave. So you could go to the Lakers with him. Or Philadelphia, Joel Embiid. If you go now, you'll say, is he going to stay healthy? If you wait till 2019, maybe you'll be able to see, okay, 2 full seasons, Embiid's been healthy. I could go there and help them. New York, let's see if they do anything, put something around Porzingis. San Antonio, will Kawhi's situation be settled? Then you could maybe go there. Like, I just think the landscape will be more clear in 2019 for LeBron.
What do you make of a story that was published today that Dan Gilbert and LeBron's relationship is bad and getting worse?
Yeah, it's bad. I mean, that's one of the main things that could drive him out of Cleveland.
You're hearing the same thing.
Oh, yeah. There's no – and just a lack of – like, LeBron, even before he went to Miami, I had talks with him, and he would talk about the importance of a well-run organization. He knew only a handful of teams had ever even won championships because they were well run. So he goes to Miami, one of the best run organizations he could go to. Cleveland, obviously not the case, even when he went back, but he just wanted to go back. He didn't care who's the coach, David Blatt. I want to go home.
Now he regrets it. Now he's got a rookie GM.
I don't know if he regrets it, but he sees that now, it's worn its course. It's run its course. Here's the thing. You brought it up earlier with Golden State. He's been to 7 straight finals. This team has been to what? 4? 3. 3 straight with this team. It is hard to go to 4 straight finals. I believe only 3 teams in history have done it.
Listen, man. MJ retired.
Yes.
He was burned out.
He was burned out.
By the way,
That's
Steve
right.
Carr said Saturday, my guys are burned out. They're fried. Hell, burned out. You got together a year and a half ago.
When Miami, his last year in Miami, when they went to their 4 straight finals, you saw at the end, they just needed a change.
Yes.
Everybody's burned out. Pat Riley was upset. Bosh and Wade are like, okay, we get to play different roles now. It was time for a new start. You got Bill Russell's Celtics teams, Magic with the Showtime Lakers, I think with the 5 straight finals, and LeBron's Heat. It's hard to go to that many finals without just getting sick of each other, especially, and here's the thing, especially when you really know we can't win. It's one thing if you feel like we can win. If you really know we're probably going to go out and get swept
and
pummeled,
and LeBron,
that's hard.
Yes, it is. By the way, this just came down. Adrian Wojnarowski, NBA's fined Magic $50,000 for tampering with Milwaukee's Greek Freak. He made public comments about him in an interview. Okay, I'm going to throw my theory at you. So here's my theory. Is that when Sam Hinkie, when the process, he got fired.
Yep.
He got unbelievable support from other GMs. Okay. GMs privately ripped MJ when he was in charge of personnel. They weren't a fan of McHale. They didn't mind Isaiah Thomas getting canned. GMs, they don't want Magic Johnson to walk into their space and dominate. They're not rooting for Magic Johnson. So, by the way, here at the trading deadline, the Lakers today come out and say, well, we may go to 2019. And part of it is nobody wants to do anything to help the Lakers. Julius Randle, not interested. Jordan Clarkson, Nance, not interested. My theory is, Chris, these star players who become GM, other GMs hate them.
No question. It's not that they absolutely won't deal with them, because if it's a good deal for you, you'll do it. But you're not going to help them. Because these GMs, you got guys who didn't play ball.
They're lifers.
Yeah, and they sit in the video room and they study this stuff 24 hours a day, and they come up with all these analytics, and they're not going to be able to play. So their path to being in the NBA is that. That's the path.
That's why Hinkie
don't bring in the basketball people.
Exactly.
That's been that's a battle in the NBA now. Basketball people versus the nerds. It's Revenge of the Nerds.
No. That's why the Charles Barkley is like nerd clubbing. And by the way, this is why Hinkie got incredible support around the league from other GMs when it failed. They're like, okay, it may have failed, but it invalidates our careers if Bird, McHale, Isaiah, and Magic walk in. Because billionaire owners would rather have Magic as a president because they could hang around Magic and get invited to parties. Okay, let's talk about this quickly. I'm watching these Western players go over to the East and chop it up. I'm watching Blake Griffin, and I'm thinking, hell, Blake Griffin in the East is a monster.
That's why I thought it was a good deal for Detroit. Is he going to lead them to a championship? No. But with Blake Griffin and Andre Drummond, Reggie Jackson, they could be a second round, maybe a conference finalist.
I totally agree.
Within his 4 years left on his contract.
Listen,
you're relevant.
You watch Blake and Andre on the court. They chop it up.
Andre's got more offense, obviously, than DeAndre. So that Blake's got a lot of game people didn't get to see in L.A. with Chris Paul because he can handle the ball. He's a very good passer. And to your point, this is what individual players need to recognize. There is a benefit to being in the East.
Chris Dunn was considered a bust.
You're right. He's looking good.
He's looking good for Chicago.
The East is not all bad. Kyrie, he's a great player in his own, just period.
Right.
But he's fortunate he ended up with a winning team in the East versus a losing team in the West, like Phoenix. Because you're probably not making all-star teams if you're on a losing team in the West.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.